We're here at Rogers Park in Providence, Rhode Island, and we're doing a demonstration for you on how to make transplants from seedlings to an interim step. You can either put them in the garden, of course, if it's warm enough, if it's past your frost date. However, quite often we start too early, we're all too anxious, and sometimes the weather just betrays us. We have to go a little longer before we plant outdoors. So this is a good in-between step. And in the case of fiber pots and peat pots, we can plant the whole pot in the ground. So we can put them out as late as we want. Oftentimes you'll see in schools they'll use the styrofoam cups, which is not a bad idea, because particularly if you want to curb the possibility of cutworms eating your, in this case it would be zinnias that we put in here. And what you need to do in the case of planting in a styrofoam cup is cut the bottom off when you're ready to plant outdoors and leave the collar. Now the collar will inhibit the cutworm from jumping over onto the seedling itself and cutting off that seedling. Oftentimes you go outside and you look at your seedlings and you go, where did my plants go? Well, oftentimes you think it's a rabbit, and that's a possibility. But most often it's cutworms. And they love newly planted seedlings. So what we do is we just take them out of the tray. These were planted perhaps 3-4 weeks ago. And we have to be very careful to get root. And we do this with our fingers. And just pull them apart and make sure you got root. That's the root of your success. And of course in this case we're putting them in fiber pots here. Each one goes into its own separate pot, and we'll be able to break those apart once the root starts to establish itself, and then those will go directly into the ground when they're large enough. In this case it'd be about 2 or 3 weeks, perhaps 4 weeks, doesn't matter. We need to mist them every day. And of course when we're done we'll soak up the soil too. Just soak them up good once and then mist it every day after that. And in this case of course you'll have plenty, as you can see, in these fiber pots to give to your friends. And you just break those fiber pots apart and they'll be able to plant them whenever they want to as well. Now, in addition to using fiber pots and peat pots and styrofoam cups, you can also plant the larger seeds. For instance, in this case we're going to plant pumpkin seeds, but the melon seeds, squash seeds, and all those hot weather large vegetables can be planted directly outdoors, or if we're in a hurry, we want to get a head start, we're going to put them in our peat pots. In this case, we're going to put 1 or 2 in each peat pot. And of course, these pumpkin seeds, you know, you're probably tempted to bite them and eat them. A lot of people salt them and eat them, but we're going to plant them. And pumpkin seeds, remember, will grow 10 feet in every direction. So that's another thing to keep in mind. After they grow, because you're better off in a plastic tray. We got a fiber pot here for demonstration purposes, but you're better off with a plastic tray, like we have here under the fiber pots. Again, use either fiber pot, or you can use peat pots, or you can use styrofoam. In the old days we used to use egg crates. You can do that as well. Got an egg crate and you want to fill it with soil, put your seeds in your egg crates as well. Of course, a little harder. You might have to get a box cutter and cut those apart from each other. But of course, this is the easiest way, pot and all. So that is the demonstration here at Rogers Park in Providence, Rhode Island. I guess we're going to call this Transplanting 101. Thank you for tuning into our movies.